Hey guys, this is Azralin with a quick review of Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Mirror's Edge Catalyst is a parkour action-adventure that is the origin story to Mirror's Edge. In the game, you play as Faith right after her release from a juvenile detention center. You are a runner, and you take to the rooftops and stay off the grid to avoid the corporation. The story for the first half of the game was kind of boring, but after about halfway, it started to get much more interesting. You get to learn more about Faith as you get glimpses into her childhood. But I feel like I still want to know more backstory and more details about some of the characters. Since this is an origin story, if you've played Mirror's Edge, you will probably know what to expect as the story progresses. The story wasn't bad, but it hasn't fully satisfied my desire for a really good story either. The story was told mostly through cinematics and voice dialogue over comms. The audio was good throughout the entire game, and the voice acting was done very well. There was only one character that I found really annoying, and it wasn't because it was poorly acted, it's just the voice itself was irritating. Throughout the game, you spend most of your time running around the glass city, climbing, jumping, sliding, and grappling as you do some crazy parkour to get from one place to another. I love the mechanics just like I did in Mirror's Edge, so I was very pleased in that regard. The map is a decent size though, and it can sometimes take a while to travel a long distance. But at least there is fast travel available. In order to unlock the fast travel, you have to collect a bunch of items and then complete a quest in each area of the city. I don't mind having to unlock each area, but I feel like the process in Mirror's Edge Catalyst is way more time consuming and tedious than it needs to be. I would have preferred a more simple system to unlock the fast travel. The world looks great, but you will see some textures changing up close where they shouldn't, and it can be a bit distracting. The whole game is an open world, and besides dying, there isn't much loading. I never experienced any lag while playing the game. However, there were a couple cutscenes that lagged when they first started playing, and it caused the audio to be out of sync until the video caught up. You can set waypoints on the map for the most direct route to your destination, but in doing so, you will find yourself quickly growing tired of seeing a lot of the same locations again and again. You can also use runner vision to help guide you if you aren't clear on where to go. It's very helpful, but I didn't like having it on all the time, so I set my runner vision to only work when I activated it. As you run around the city, you build and keep momentum without too much difficulty, and the parkour felt pretty responsive for the most part. The only time I really had any issues with the parkour was when I would have to jump off a rail into a wall run and then jump off the wall again to a higher location. Fortunately, after many deaths in some areas, I realized that there were alternate routes in many parts of the city. While you maintain your momentum, you charge up a flow bar that acts as a shield when you encounter combat. The shield is super helpful and it prevents taking any health damage as long as you continue moving. It's definitely saved my butt on more than one occasion. Most of the combat you can avoid, but in some cases you are forced to fight. The combat is mediocre at best, and it certainly isn't anything that you would want to go out of your way to find. As you level up and unlock different abilities, you do get a few combos, but most of the time the fighting is simply dodge, kick, and repeat until enemies die. Close quarter combat just doesn't feel like it has very good flow, nor does it give much satisfaction once you do defeat the enemies. And not to mention the motion blur when you dodge is also very annoying to see. There were a couple big open rooms where you can jump and wall run into an attack combo, and those encounters were a bit more enjoyable, but overall I didn't really like the combat a whole lot. The main campaign took me about 8.5 hours to complete. There's no reason to replay the game, but once you finish the campaign, collectibles and the side missions become visible on the map. And there are quite a few other things you can easily spend a lot of time on if you're trying to complete everything. There are also race events that you can do to compete on the leaderboards against other players as well. If you've played Mirror's Edge and enjoyed the gameplay, you will probably enjoy Catalyst as well, but the game is on the expensive side. I was super hyped to play this game, possibly a bit too hyped. Even though I bought the game at 20% off, I wish it had been more of a sale. So unless you're in a huge rush to play and plan to do all the side objectives and compete on the public leaderboards, just wait for a sale. I hope this review has helped you. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and post your feedback in the comments below. Thanks everyone, and have a wonderful day.